Wow, after that wonderful session, I think everyone needs a break, and I hope I'm not that break spot. Good afternoon, everyone. Hi, Vineet. So one of the things that I wanted to discuss is how we in retail and retail real estate really got disrupted. I think the disruption was here and today. I think everyone should settle down and then I should talk.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You'll have an opportunity to interact with the earlier speakers in a while. But for the moment, can we settle down so Pushkar can continue her speech? Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, I think I'd like all of us who are in the physical retail space, as a mall developer or as a brand who got disrupted truly, we all believe that all of us in our lifetime has to go through one big crisis. We've heard about world wars, we've heard about partition, and we got a not so glamorous COVID. Well, it was a disruption, but I think we as an industry stood up and faced it really well. So may I request all of us to stand up and give ourselves a standing ovation. Well, we've heard a lot about physical retail, digital retail. Amitabh has rechristened as phygital retail. I can tell you this, that we as human beings are community-oriented people. Look how happy we are meeting each other after 2 years. And the community sense and the sense of human connect can never get out of fashion, which is one of the reasons why when things reopened, we saw F&B to really research, because people like to connect, not just in a digital way. Convenience is great, but more important is, as human beings, we need to connect with our friends, our foes, our relatives, our family, that's our colleagues, and that's the reason why I do believe that physical retail is here to stay. And both physical and digital will grow tremendously over the next 5 years. The growth is just begun. What has really happened in our view, and when I talk to my colleagues, they say the same, that they see, in terms of the evolution of consumers, they see consumers to be much more discovering digitally and coming in a more planned fashion physically. That is the big change that we see. So I'll just give you a little synopsis. Of course, Anurag did a brilliant job of it earlier. The US consumer retail spending is something that we always watch. And we see that after the first corona shock, everything went online. You see the online graph versus the offline graph. Now, interestingly, people just wanted to stay indoors and convenience was paramount. But then look at the rapid bounce. The reason why we have this slide up is because in the US, you do get data more easily and seamlessly. But if you transport the same data, this is what we see. In 2021, the offline has just taken off. Consumers are experience-starved. Now, what do we mean? Nagesh wanted to touch this point of what is experience-starved. It's really experience of talking to the customer service to understand what works, to see if this color is better, the texture is better, instead of having a completely insular discoverability digitally. Human beings like to interact, and that experience is truly the USP that we carry in the retail space, and we need to enhance that more. So retail is about experiences, and that's what DLF would like to really focus on. This is where we think that the share of organized retail will grow. 21, it is 18%, but it is going to grow further. So what do we see at a macro level? Again, Anurag had touched upon it, and let me just dive past. Of course, we think that there's going to be continued and robust demand. Innovation in financing is here to stay. Digital wallet is one of them, but innovation in financing, increasing investments, retail will attract more investments. So all you retailers out there, I do believe that the party has just begun, because we have a more evolved consumer who know what they want to shop digitally and what they don't want to shop digitally. And that's an important element that we all need to dwell upon. Even as retailers, I'm sure you all would have delved upon this. Well, the key consumer trends today, as we see when we went about in DLF and in the industry, in fact, the industry came in closer than ever before. I think Amitabh and I spoke then more than what we had done over the last 5 years during COVID. And that really is what a crisis does. It brings industry, it brings the fraternity together. And I think we as DLF, we really took on that leadership position and thought that it's our responsibility to take the retail fraternity out of the crisis onto growth mode. Retail, as I said, is about experiences, and people are raring to go. This is how we are seeing our own properties behave. Well, returning consumers are focused much more on safety and hygiene, which is the reason, one of the reason I asked about Digiti Wallet, because we are noticing that customers, when they come out and check out, even in a physical store, they prefer to use their mobile and pay through UPI or scan the code. So that has changed forever. But we need not really look at the naysayers of, is it all going to go online? Are human beings going to be insulated forever? I don't think so. But we need to adapt technology in a much more seamless fashion. That technology will bring about not just ease and convenience, it will also bring about a lot more of, I would say, communities, micro-communities. And we as physical players in the mall development business or in the retail business, we need to develop those micro-communities in a far more intense fashion than we have so far. What I mean by that is, you will see within our customer base, there will be one micro-community which will be into sustainability. Are we reaching out to them differently? Are we reaching out to those consumers who are completely into trends? They just want to be in trend with whatever is new. So are we creating a micro-community for them? So these are questions that we really need to ask as physical players in the retail real estate space to say, how are we adapting the technology to ensure a better reach? So when Anurag, you spoke about D2C, time has come for the retail real estate industry to get into a D2C mode. So technology, integration into our way of thinking is what will change forever. More than 56% of retail sales are influenced by digital, which is why even in our luxury space, I must share with you that we have queues outside the Gucci store or LVMH store. Well, a person's not going to stand in a queue for 1 hour to buy something unless and until the person has already discovered it digitally. And they more or less know that they want to look at these 2-3 things and then pick, choose, and decide. So how close are we to helping them discover digitally as mall developers is something that we all have to think about in a very different manner. So this, I do believe, are the trends which will help us redefine the new properties and also redefine our older properties. So a bit about DLF, I'm sure you all know about it, but let me just tell you. Currently we have all these malls. The uniqueness that we have is it's 4.2 million square feet of mall space that we manage. Pre-COVID, we used to get 62 million footfall annually. We believe that that number, just like someone mentioned, that how many stores do we have, is no longer relevant. It's about the relevant footfall that we are getting, which is more important. The key that we bring to the table is that we are probably the only brand in the country who have unique 673 brands. It's spanning across F&B, across international brands, Indian brands, as luxury. It spans across the entire portfolio. And our belief is that that uniqueness is what made us sail through the crisis seamlessly. Because one went up, the other went down, but we were quite sorted at a portfolio level. Well, one of the things that we, as an industry and as an industry leader, went ahead is, apart from, of course, financially supporting the retail fraternity with the contractual rentals, which was a very small element of the whole piece. The important element is that we created an ecosystem of safety and compliance for our consumers. And so we went ahead and vaccinated all our retailer staff, during a time when vaccinations were not available. This was those times when, knowing a doctor was the biggest USP you had in your life. So at that point, we went ahead and created an ecosystem of safety for our guests and employees alike, our vendor staff, and that helped in creating that trust ring and creating that reopening to be much more strong. And I think we bounced back pretty well, and I'm pretty proud of that. We went ahead further and learned from our international friends that HEPA filter is something that works very well. So we've installed HEPA filters now across our properties. This also gives another security ring by seamlessly sort of purifying the air in the common areas, which is again a point of concern. And we in DLF have also had 16 Sword of Honors. So what used to be a bane for retailers earlier, that DLF is all about compliances, actually became the main focus from the retailer fraternity also. They talked about our 16 Sword of Honors and what it meant, our fire safety, etc., etc. So we continue to, during the COVID year, was one of my hardest working times in DLF. We actually strengthened our projects and signed 150 marquee brands across categories, and I'm pretty proud of this. It just showed that retail as a concept is here to stay. Physical retail as a concept is here to stay. This is the proof that the more important element is it's about trust. So retailers trusted us as DLF to invest during a time of crisis, and we are forever grateful for that. Well, what are we doing? Since we signed all these brands during the crisis, we said, let's go ahead and strengthen our portfolio. So, DLF has got these most premium residential spots. So we said that let's go ahead and enhance the quality of life for those premium residential consumers who are there. So we're going to be coming up with 3 premium neighborhood plazas in Summit, which is phase 5. A person staying in Camellias can just walk across. A Midtown and New Gurgaon. All these 3 are going to be a new wave of shopping experience. It's community experience, which we believe will bring in an enhanced quality, a newer consumer, newer brands can come in. I'm almost looking at creating a community space where, suppose Bata wants to test try something new, a community center would be the right space for them to test try. So brands which want to move digitally can test try things in a community space and vice versa, and it's a great convenience for the person living. And that homes have become larger now. People are becoming much more conscious about what they wear, what they eat, and how quickly will they get what they want. So this is our answer to digital shopping, because digital shopping caters to convenience, and we believe in the physical space, this will cater to convenience if you can walk across or cycle across to a project from your home. The next thing that we are also doing is in DLF, we have created some of our best office complexes. Yes, the offices, as we speak, they are returning back to work. With Cyber Hub and Cyber City, we've seen the worst, and we are seeing now the return back to work, and people have realized the great resignation that you talked about is very much a reality. The attrition in offices was phenomenally high. And why is that? Because people stopped having that connect with the culture of the organization. When there is no connect of the culture of the organization, people will resign because then they become transactional with their company. That to me is a big statement, which is why we believe that the offices that we've created painstakingly over decades are going to stay for a lifetime. We're going to be making their lives even better by having these wonderful retail and office spaces that we'll be opening this year. So during COVID year, probably we are the only company other than Phoenix which has actually opened new properties in the physical space, which is the Hub and the Cyber Park and Avenue. 3 properties opened during COVID. This is an interesting one. Goa, as you know, I'm sure all of us have got friends. I'm jealous of those people who just moved to Goa and stayed put there. There is a whole new community that is formed in Goa. Most of the well-heeled Delhi and Mumbaikars have moved there. And we in DLF happen to have a fantastic opportunity there to create a premium space for the new Goan experience. They're going to be missing what they have back home in Delhi and Mumbai, so we're going to fill that. And so we are launching, it's not going to be called the Pato Plaza, we're going to be rebranding it and launching a premium space in Goa, which would be almost 400,000, it's 385,000 square feet of space. Very exciting project, and this is just the start. The big one is yet to come in, and we'll announce that very soon. The flagship project that DLF is going to be launching. But I just wanted to give this message out to the community that we in DLF believe that our vision for brick and mortar is here to stay and here to grow. And this is just the start. We want to actually double our retail portfolio from 4.2 million to now 2.3 and 6.5 million, but we will be doubling it over the next 5 years, so more news to come. Thank you.